Welcome to Geek Talk. My name is Jonathan Chestnut, and I'm here with
Josh Soltren.
The Flash. I'm just kidding. So today we're coming back talking about comic books and the geeky stuff that we love.
Yeah.
We always get stuck talking about superheroes, so we'll just start off with that. Since the last time, the Justice League came out.
Yep, Justice League and Thor and Black Panther.
Oh yeah, those are the three biggies. Let's start off. Have you seen all three?
Seen all three of them.
All right. What did you think, Justice League?
Well, Justice League, I would say out of the three is the third place. Out of all three of those movies.
Man, see, me and you are already mad. I'm already mad at you. Right, go ahead.
But I enjoyed it. I mean, I did, but I will say I enjoyed Thor much better, and I enjoyed Black Panther much better than Justice League.
Caused me to have an aneurysm. Okay.
Thor being on top, but we'll start talking about Justice League.
Okay. Let's do my three. How about this? Thor on bottom, Justice League in the middle, Black Panther on top. But we'll start with the Justice League. Why wasn't it number one?
Okay, first, I enjoyed it. Out of those three, that's why it's in the bottom. But I enjoyed
it. That's why it's at the bottom.
No, I enjoyed it, but it's compared to those two, it's at the bottom.
Okay.
But the critics were all wrong about that movie, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because I enjoyed The Flash, even though the villain was kind of weak. All Superman had to do was show up, and then it was game over. But other than that, I mean, the movie was good. All the characters, I like how the chemistry between them. The Flash kind of made the chemistry a lot lighter between all of them. But I just wish there was a little bit more character development with Cyborg. But that's pretty much it with me, my issues with the movie.
I see, and I rewatched the movie last night, as a matter of fact, and I didn't even plan that. My son asked if we could watch it, so I pulled it up. And so, for me, it's in the second spot because the Superman thing, as far as like being powerful and kind of ending it relatively quickly, that's always a problem when you deal with Superman. I mean, even when you read the comic books, it's like, okay, Green Arrow's in the Justice League with Superman. What's he there for? What can he do that Superman can't really bring to the game? And I thought they did okay in the fight sequence where they found reasons why Superman had to lead the fight. He had to go save the people. He had to help Cyborg split the things apart.
Yeah.
So it kind of put the Wonder Woman and Aquaman dealing with Steppenwolf by themselves. And even with that, the idea that Superman could just automatically defeat him, Superman was real powerful, but Steppenwolf is too. You never see Steppenwolf and Superman go at it full on, just them anywhere in the fight. Because immediately Superman engages him, something happens and Superman has to move. Yeah. And then the other two move back in. I originally, when I watched it the first time in the movies, I did not like The Flash. I love the Flash TV show, and maybe I was bringing some little TV hate on for that.
That's what I was. When I first came in the movie, I was like, why isn't Grant Gustin the Flash? Why didn't they just bring the TV characters to be the movie characters? Even though that may bring some issues. I mean, they're Flash and the Arrow, so why can't they be in the movie? But I just approached it how I approached Batman v Superman, because I didn't want to see Batman v Superman because I was such a big fan of Christian Bale. And I didn't want to see Ben Affleck with his the bad role as Daredevil. I heard Daredevil was a terrible movie, so.
Oh, don't make me defend Daredevil, because the problem is that Marvel, for a while, Marvel didn't make good movies, and so and a lot of times they would let Hollywood control the movies a little bit more. Now that Marvel is a part of Disney, so they have more direct control. That's why you see now with like Black Panther and everything else, they're sticking true to what the core of the character is. They're sticking to the idea of what the background of the character is, and they're not giving way to, mom and pop in Middleville, wherever, Kansas, they aren't going to understand why there's a secret country in Africa. It's like, well, whatever, they don't get it. But there was a time in Hollywood where they would have over-explained all of that, and it would have really just watered everything down.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't want to get too hung up on the Justice League, but you know, when I rewatched it last night, there was a lot of little things that I didn't pick up on the first time, and I wasn't a huge fan the first time I saw it, but honestly, like the Flash really grew on me. I could really see Cyborg developing into something. So I think there's something to grow there.
Sure.
All right, so Thor Ragnarok, your favorite, my least favorite. Why is that?
I'm not sure why it's your least favorite. It's my favorite because
I'll be happy to tell you.
the Hulk hasn't really been in his own movie, quotation marks, due to rights and Universal owning him. So Disney can't really make a Hulk movie until they really like make a deal with Universal, and then they can make a single Hulk movie. So right now they have to put Hulk into other people's movies. So I was just excited because they brought in I think it's the Planet Hulk arc, a little bit of it.
A little bit, they hinted at it.
In the movie. Even though I wish there would have been just a Planet Hulk movie, I'm glad we saw a little bit of Planet Hulk in the Thor Ragnarok movie.
A little bit. Why it made my least favorite, actually the Hulk was my favorite part in the whole thing. Actually the Rock dude with the funny voice, he was hilarious.
He was hilarious.
But my problem is that, you know, I've been reading comic books since the 70s, and Thor is a serious character. And Loki has always been a villain. He was the villain that created the Avengers. He's the villain that caused Asgard to fall. He did all these things. But for that whole 2 hours, it was like a buddy cop movie. It was like, you know, I don't like you, but I got to work with you kind of thing. And I was all like, this is very reminiscent of like Lethal Weapon. They were just kind of running around fighting against stuff, but it was all just a running gag reel. And it was like, Thor, if he does something or says something funny, it usually because of his naive nature, or he doesn't know how things work on Earth or something like that. And they used that in the Avengers. The first time when the Avengers movie was out, they did some stuff and it kind of poked at his naive nature. And that was okay because, you know, he was the straight man in the joke, but that whole movie was like a 2 hour running gag reel. And I was like, you know, I like the Hulk. I like the Hulk world thing, the Stone guy. I hate the fact that they multiculturalize Asgardian mythology. I think that, you know, we need to focus on what the story should be, and but there's such a structure to the way things work with that. So in the end, I mean, it was somewhat anticlimactic, and so there was that. But Black Panther, you put that at number 2?
Yeah, it's number 2.
Okay. Why is that? Well, how did Thor beat that? You tell me that.
How did Thor? Because the Hulk is my favorite Marvel character.
Oh, okay.
And I've always been the biggest fanboy of Hulk. So,
okay.
I'll say that Black Panther was really good. I just like the characters, especially Killmonger. Like, just how did Michael B. Jordan act as his acting as Killmonger? It was just on point, and it really drove the character to like you understanding him at a point. You're like, yeah, he may be right, but then you also hear what Black Panther says, and you're like, but Black Panther's right too. So it's just, I really liked the plot of the movie, and then the acting was really on point. Compared to a lot of Marvel movies, I'm not saying other Marvel movies have bad acting. I'm just saying this acting in this movie was like amazing.
Yeah, it was, like I said, it was my first as far as like the 3 go. What I liked about it, and I can really agree with what you're saying to the idea of the Michael B. Jordan character and then the Black Panther character, because I mean we're on the campus of an HBCU, and we have a lot of faculty and students from Africa, and we have a lot of students that grew up in America, and there's really, you know, and they talk about it sort of in the movie where, you know, people of African descent, you know, the people in Africa see the world's problems differently than the people that are living in the world's problems outside of Africa. And how do they react to it and how do they deal with it? I thought that was really deep as far as that kind of cultural self-awareness, being able to look at it and go, When I first heard there was a Black Panther movie coming, I was paused because I was like, oh no, please don't do something bad. And but they stayed true to the character, and this is where Marvel comes in. If this had been done when Wesley Snipes was trying to do it in the '90s or something like that, it would have been a little too, I hate to say the word comic booky. It would have been, but now in the current world culture and the current technology, special effects and everything else, they were actually really able to do something really cool with it. And so that was pretty impressive. And I like the fact, and you know, for me, the fact of the cultural impact that it's had. People are going to the movies to see a superhero movie that would never have gone to see a superhero movie. And they're really enjoying it. They're really engaging it, and it's really striking a social chord. And I find that amazing. And I think that it's waking up people's eyes to what comic books and superheroes can be.
Yeah.
And I think that's important.
It's bringing a whole new audience now. We're having more people are going to come see Infinity War and all these new superhero movies because like you said, Black Panther was just, it broke the culture. It made a whole new movie, and everybody went to go see it.
Yeah. So, and you mentioned it, Infinity War. That's coming out. You've seen the previews?
All of them, multiple times.
Multiple times, yeah. Rewatch them. Watch the videos where they take them apart.
Exactly, same.
Who you think's gonna die?
I don't want Cap to die. I think him or Tony are going to die. They need to. I'm not saying they need to, but one of them has to die, in my opinion. One of the leaders, core leaders of the Avengers, needs to die to make the team like. I think in the second movie of Infinity War, they're going to need to make the team
galvanize, come together,
kind of break apart a little bit, but then someone's going to come up and be like, all right, we need to get our act together and defeat Thanos. Who that may be, maybe it's Iron Man if Iron Man didn't die, or Cap, maybe Black Panther. But I don't know, we'll see what happens.
I'm voting for Ant-Man. I'm hoping that Ant-Man brings them all together and drives them on, because they got the Ant-Man and Wasp movie coming.
Yep.
I've seen previews for it, so I'm pretty sure he survives the Infinity War.
Well, I'm hearing though is he isn't going to even be in Infinity War.
He's not going to be in the first one?
In the first one, at the least. I mean, we haven't seen him in the trailers.
I thought he was in a promotional poster.
He may have been, but like Hawkeye, we still haven't even seen in the trailer.
Yeah, let's see, Hawkeye hasn't made an appearance in any of the posters. That was one of the big comments, was he's not even included.
And so I'm not even sure if Hawkeye isn't in it, well, that's okay. But I mean, if Ant-Man isn't in it, then he might be in the second one, but I'm not sure. Yeah,
there was a comic book that came out that's a precursor to the Infinity War, and some of the comments I've heard have been say, well, if that is true, that explains where Hawkeye is, because basically Cap breaks out the people that are held in the what is it called, the vault, the pit, whatever. I forget which one they're using, but he busts everybody out and. Everybody's like, oh, okay, well, I need to do this, and then I'll hook up with you, and I need to do this, and I'll catch up with you. And Hawkeye's like, and I'm not going to come back. I'm going home. And so if they kind of use that premise, that might explain why Hawkeye's not there.
Yeah. And it's also understandable, too, because really there's only one other human character. Like, I think it's without any special suit or anything.
Oh, Black Widow?
Black Widow, yeah, for our name for a second. But it's like her and Hawkeye are kind of like dead weight a little bit, because if they're going against Thanos, I mean, Falcon really can't do anything against Thanos either, but he has more of a chance than Black Widow because he.
I don't know. Black Widow is a better hand-to-hand combatant. She's like their Batman without being Batman. Of course, Black Panther is kind of like their Batman too, but you know. So we'll have to see. I have no real prediction of who's going to die. So. Incredibles 2. I'm so excited. This is like the greatest movie ever.
Yeah.
It could be the worst. I don't care.
I'm still gonna watch it. It was my movie when I was a kid. Dash, Mr. Incredible.
It's the most amazing.
I'm looking forward to it.
Deadpool 2. You've watched the promos for that?
I've seen most of them, I think.
Okay. I've been watching them. I think it's gonna be funny. I think it's gonna be. It's going to be Deadpool. It's going to be a lot of jokes and a lot of action, The previews I've seen are pretty gory.
Yeah, Cable looks pretty cool. I mean, Cable is Thanos too, so I'm not sure a lot of people realize that. But Josh, I think it's Josh Brolin.
Oh yeah, he's playing both. Yeah,
he's playing Thanos too.
I was about to say no, Cable doesn't become Thanos. I'm like, okay, but no, okay, the actor. Okay,
the actor plays with both of them.
I was about to say, if we're gonna stick to comic books, no, that's not what's happening. All right, so we don't have a lot of time, so we're not gonna talk about TV shows right now. We'll do another segment on the current TV shows. We had 2 questions come to us. And I'm going to try to answer them the best I can. This comes from Mrs. Suggs' 7th grade ELA class from Sandy Grove Middle School in Hope County, North Carolina. They are the Panthers, so that's why they get to ask questions. It says, what is the Black Panther suit made of? Where is the material from? And how do I find it? The suit is made, all of the technology in Wakanda is based around a metal called vibranium. It's the same metal that was used to create Captain America's shield. It doesn't really exist. It's not a real metal. Wakanda's technology was based on the fact they were hit by a meteorite that had this stuff, and then they've been mining it for years. And the powers of vibranium are very comic bookish as far as like what it's capable of doing. So you can't make the suit because the material doesn't really exist. Sorry. What does Black Panther, and this comes from the same class, Miss Suggs' class, Sandy Grove Middle School. What does Black Panther suit, or why does Black Panther suit not crush him based on Newton's laws? And basically, could I make the suit in real life? Again, vibranium is a material. What makes the suit and Cap's shield and everything else so important is that vibranium, when you strike it, it reacts to the energy. So that's like when Captain America holds up his shield and the Hulk punches it, and why the shield doesn't just go through Cap's head and just break off Cap's arm. Because the kinetic energy, it hits the shield and the material dissipates it. So that's why Cap, when he falls great heights, he lands on his shield because it absorbs it. So how it defies Newton's laws of, an object in motion will stay in motion and those kinds of things, it goes into energy transference. And so that's what makes Black Panther suit, why bullets bounce off of it. But there's a lot of other technology, the way the energy is directed in Black Panther suit. That's what his sister kind of hints to when she talks about the new Black Panther suit. So I kind of hope that answers the questions a little bit, and I appreciate y'all joining us for Geek Talk.
Yep.
And next time we'll talk about TV shows. Woo!